Looking for a workout to do where you can jump higher and run faster but don't need any weights? Then make sure to stick around. Hey, I'm Dylan Joseph, soccer trainer, #1 best-selling Amazon author. To increase your team's skills, overcome average performances, and boost your team's self-esteem, then make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon. Today, I'll be doing a jump training workout with you that'll last about 15 minutes. So stay to the end of this video to work out alongside me to do these jump training plyometric exercises after I explain how to do each one and show an example of each. Number 1, depth jumps. Number 2, standing jumps. 3, box jumps. 4, broad jumps. 5, split lunge jumps. And 6, jump knee tucks. 1, depth jumps involve stepping off a box, landing on the ground, and then jumping once your feet hit the ground. So notice here how I'm standing on, in this case, one of the sideline bleachers. I'm standing on that, I'm stepping off, I'm making sure both feet hit the ground at the same time, and then explosively jump up in the air using my arms as well. Depth jumps increase eccentric control and coordination of the hamstrings while allowing you to absorb more force safely. Land softly when stepping off the box or step. The depth jump is one of the best exercises an athlete can use to force overload. This technique is used by high jumpers, sprinters, and many basketball stars because of its effectiveness. Depth jumps strongly fatigue the central nervous system, therefore do not use these moves more than once per week and do these first in a plyometric workout. 2, standing jumps are simply jumping as high as you can while staying in one spot. Have at least 20 seconds in between each rep of this move because you're training for max jumping height with this move. Think of it in terms of soccer. Will you ever be repeatedly jumping up and heading the ball in a game, or will you only need to jump up as high as you can once to head the ball, and then likely several minutes will go by until you need to jump up to head the ball again? Aim to have a box that is tall enough to test you, but not too tall because it will increase your chances of injury. Many gyms have wooden or metal boxes to train on, but anything sturdy and tall will do the trick. A trick to jumping is to make sure you are engaging your arms and using them to propel you onto the box. Many soccer players do most of their jumping with only their legs. In reality, jumping properly is an explosive full body move where your arms need to generate force to obtain the most height. 4, broad jumps are when you stand flat-footed and with no momentum, jump forward as far as you can and land on both feet. These are great for generating raw jumping power because they are done with no momentum. And could you give this video a quick like? 5, split lunge jumps. Start in a lunge position, then jump up and switch positions of your legs. If you started with a right leg forward lunge, after one split lunge jump, your left leg will be in front of you and your right leg will then be behind you. This move is great for developing strength equally in each leg with little involvement from the other leg during each jump. The other jumps in this video are done with both legs, so it is often hard to notice if one of your legs is weaker than the other. With this jump, you can see if there are any imbalances in strength in either leg while really working your butt and hamstrings. 6, jump knee tucks are a move done in one spot where you jump up and bring your knees as high as you can to tuck them into your chest. Jump knee tucks are also known as high knee jumps. These are great for working on your ability to get your feet quickly off the ground, which is important for soccer players looking to run faster and have quicker feet when they receive the ball. Plyometric workout that we'll be doing today. 1, depth jumps, 3 sets, 1 rep each, rest for 15 seconds between sets. 2, standing jumps, 3 sets, 1 rep each, rest 15 seconds between sets. 3, box jumps, 3 sets, 1 rep each, rest 15 seconds between each set. 4, broad jumps, 3 sets, 1 rep each, rest 15 seconds between sets. 5, split lunge jumps, 2 sets, 4 reps each leg, rest 1 minute between sets. And 6, jump knee tucks, 2 sets, 10 reps, rest 1 minute between sets. Notice how in each set until the last 2 exercises, you're only doing 1 repetition because you want to train this in a way that will best carry over to actually playing soccer. Therefore, fewer reps with more power is the best way to increase your explosiveness so that you can jump higher and sprint quicker. With this workout, we're only doing 48 total repetitions. So let's begin the workout. And I'm not going to cut out any verbal mistakes. I'm going to be taking peeks at my phone, but I want to make sure that we can do this together. All right, so first thing that we are doing is we are doing those depth jumps, okay? So with this, we're only doing 3, 15 seconds in between each. And again, like I said in the video, it's important. So with this, let's start our first one. You're stepping off with 1 foot, getting down, and exploding up as much as you can. Now, if you want to work on your headers when you're at the top, go for it. It'll only help. So 15 seconds in between each one. What I like to do is generally with each step, each set, each repetition, I'm going to step off with a different foot. So that first one, I think I just stepped off with my right, so now I'm going to step off with my left and go down into it. So it's been about 15 seconds. and up. Up, forgot to work on the header. I'll try that next time. Okay, oh, we got a duck in the picture, wonderful. Okay, so now we're going, and this time, the last one I did my left, so now I'm gonna do my right. The key is though, you gotta make sure your feet hit the ground at the same time so you can explosively jump off both. You don't want one to hit, absorb most of the load, get most of the workout, and the other one not. So let's do that last one. I'm gonna work on my header this time, you ready? Okay, so anytime you're doing a header, you want to pull back to extend your body forward and to extend that head to snap that forward. So the next thing we're going to do is those standing jumps. So it's literally just standing in place, just like this, follow along. And again, we're not doing a ton of repetitions. That doesn't carry well over to the field. So just jumping up as high as we can, getting those arms engaged. So quarter squat down, big jump up. And again, 15 seconds in between the next one. Now, what a mistake, the one mistake that I made for years and years and years is when I did my plyometric training, I do like the P90X plyometric where I go, it's basically an hour long of just jumping, which is fine if you're a midfielder and are like a defensive midfielder and don't really need to score, but in most instances, we want to score, we want to be explosive, we want to be faster. I'm going to do another one. Okay, so standing jump, do it with me. There we go. Okay, so most instances, just jumping over and over and over again. It builds up cardio, builds up endurance, sure, but it's not going to make you, it'll make you a little bit faster, make you jump a little bit higher. But doing it to where you're doing less repetitions and more explosively is going to make a lot bigger of a difference. So let's do that one more time, okay? Standing jump as high as we can. And now, if there's not 15 seconds in between, I'm not, keeping a timer on me right now, so don't worry about it. If it's 20 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever, I don't really recommend like going on your phone in between sets because then you lose track of time. You're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're on TikTok, any of that kind of stuff. You won't be paying as good of attention. You'll have too long of breaks in between sets, okay? So now, next thing we're doing, we're going to be doing those box jumps. So in this instance, I'm up at the field. You can obviously do this at home. I'm just going to be jumping on to this bench. But in most instances, actually at my house, I have like this pillar outside my house that I'll do my jump training with. And the pillar is probably about this high. So I'm normally going to take one step, jumping up onto it. In this instance, because this isn't that high, I'm not going to be taking any steps. I'm just going to be jumping right up onto it, okay? We're doing 3 total sets. Each one only has 1 repetition, okay? So like I said, that wasn't super overwhelming. That bench isn't uber high. Depending on what you have at home, you got to make it work for you. And that's what soccer is all about, is being consistent on getting better, on progressing and becoming a better soccer player. Now, you doing it with an imperfect bench, but doing it is still going to be a lot better than you not doing it all because you don't have all the perfect right equipment and any of the excuses that you can come up with, okay? Let's do our next one. You ready? So again, exploding with the arms. Get those arms to help us drive up more than we can. And now, just because it's this tall doesn't mean I only have to jump that high. I can jump higher if I want, okay? So here, there we go, stepping up. Now, anytime I step off, generally you want to step off with the opposite leg. So if I stepped off that time, then the next time I jump up, I want to make sure I'm stepping off with that other leg to, again, make sure I'm balancing the leg muscles, working them out equally. So let's do one more, okay? So from here, get those arms engaged, jumping up, step up, and I think I went left foot down every single time. Not good, gotta switch back and forth, learn from my mistakes, okay? Next one we're doing, broad jumps. And again, not a ton of repetitions. In a game, are you gonna be going up for headers? Every single play you're going up for a header multiple times? No. You're generally gonna go for a header, it's gonna be another 15, 20 minutes till you gotta go for another header. You don't normally have a ton of time in between, so training where you just keep jumping, again, builds endurance, but doesn't really build explosiveness and vertical power, vertical height on your jumps. Okay, so again, this next one is broad jumps. So those are standing long jumps. Possibly did these in gym class where you stand on a mat and see how far you can jump. Okay, with this, I'm actually gonna do it behind the bench here because I was filming earlier and slipped. I got turf that I'm working on. It's a little bit wet, and I got flats. I didn't wear my turf. They're in the car, my turf cleats. So I'm just gonna be doing broad jumps from here. Now, when we go to do these, again, make sure those arms are involved. Jumping as far as we can. And now I'll show you a light one, not too far in the front, okay? But when we go to jump, we want to make sure that we are squatting down in that bottom position, because if I stay up pretty tall, I'm not going to be able to jump as far forward. We want to make sure that I can jump a lot forward, get my feet out in front of me a little bit so I can jump further and then bring my body up at the end. Okay, so I'm going to do another one again over here. Don't want to hurt myself. All right, here we go. Another broad jump. Okay, we got one more of those. Again, not a ton of repetitions. Working on power, speed, quickness. We're not working on endurance here. Okay, endurance, you play soccer. You probably get enough endurance from that. You want some more endurance? Run a few times around the track. That'll help with endurance, not so much with you becoming a faster sprinter or a higher jumper, okay? Let's do our last broad jump. Ready? Again, engage those arms. Arms are important. A lot of people only work with their legs. Gotta work with those arms. All right, perfect. That was 3 for that. And again, with a plyometric workout, you're not necessarily trying to get super sore. You don't want to always be sore because then it's multiple days until you can work that muscle group out again. In this instance, you just want to marginally keep on getting better. So if I did it today, I'd take tomorrow and I wouldn't do any leg stuff, but the next day I could definitely get back into it because I'm only doing 48 reps. Not trying to make myself sore, trying to work on my power, okay? So that next thing, we're going to split lunge jumps. We're only gonna do 4 reps each leg, so it'll be 8 total. Okay, with this, you gotta get the arms involved. This one's a little more tiring. And again, as you land, make sure that calf, the balls of your foot engaging that calf is gonna be landing first, pushing off that front leg. So I'm gonna start right leg forward. You ready? Do this with me. We're going 8 reps, so 4 each leg. Okay, so from here, we're going and we're switching legs, split lunge jumps. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Again, focusing on jumping as high as you can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, this one, we got a minute in between. I'm gonna grab a quick drink. That one's a little more tiring, but again, not doing a ton of repetitions. And honestly, doing a bunch of repetitions makes it more likely so you're not actually gonna work out. If we're only doing 48 reps, you can cut down your time in between sets if you want, make it a little bit shorter. You could probably do this workout in like 10 minutes. 10 minutes, definitely better than nothing. So if you have excuses, I literally don't need anything. I don't even need to do the box jumps on something. I could be doing more standing jumps or even broad jumps to help replicate. Wouldn't be exactly, but it'd be close enough. Again, try to overcome those excuses, become more resourceful when it comes to exercising. Don't be, oh, the gyms are closed, oh, this is closed, oh, it's too late, oh, all that stuff doesn't help you become a better soccer player, okay? So let's do that next set. We're only doing 2 sets of this. All right, so again, I'll start with that right leg forward. 8 total reps, 4 with each leg, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, getting those arms engaged. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There it is. Okay, nice and easy. Very easy to do, easy not to do. When it comes to exercising, you gotta make it winnable. So working out for an hour and a half, 2 hours every single day, 7 days a week, it's not making it winnable for yourself. Exercising for 3, 4 times a week, 45 minutes of time, much more achievable. Now, if you have soccer games, you don't need to add a bunch of exercise onto it. Even if you're just strength training 1 time per week, maybe doing flexibility training, a little good stretching, that kind of stuff once per week, make a big difference. You don't need to do it a ton because a lot of your fitness will be coming from the actual soccer that you play. But if you don't play full time, then you definitely want to make sure you're still exercising, especially at a young age. You want to establish those habits because you create what are called neural pathways. These neural pathways get engaged so that you going and exercising becomes a habit. If you feel worse not doing it and it feels abnormal you not doing it, so it's very important that at a young age you establish great habits because then they'll take you through life. Me, I don't have to think about working out anymore. I want to work out. I physically want to work out because I've done it for so long. I created those neural pathways, those habits that my body craves the exercise and being in shape, staying in shape, and staying well and healthy. So that next skill, or not skill, but next jump. We're doing jump knee tucks. 2 sets, 10 reps each. This one's pretty tight. Get those arms involved, knees as high as you can, okay? From here, we're doing 10, arms engaged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can touch the knees at the top. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Notice how in the middle there I was losing my balance a little bit, so I just slowed down. I re-picked it back up, finished strong. With these, you want to make sure, because soccer is your sport, soccer is the game, that's what you want to play. If you're going to get injured, obviously you don't want to get injured, but if you get injured, you want to do it playing soccer, not training to get ready to play soccer. Telling your teammates, oh, I was doing jump training and rolled my ankle, that's not going to make them happy. Okay, so it's super important that you train logically, smart, all in a way that's going to increase your performances and abilities on the field. as well as your self-esteem and confidence, okay? So we got one more set of those. Probably about 10 seconds left. Let me take a quick save. Still trying to catch my breath. Gotta be honest, talking and working out at the same time, it's interesting, very interesting. All right, here we go. This will be last set. I'll even do a little stretch with you too. Make sure we get the muscles cooled down and ready to go on to the rest of our day, okay? So jumping knee tucks, you ready? Again, hitting the knees at the top. 10 of them, engage those arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so with this, that was the plyometric workout. Again, 48 reps, super easy to do, super easy not to do. With it, focusing on a decent amount of break in between because we want to really focus on increasing the height of our jump and the quickness of our sprints. So let's focus on a few stretches. We engage the lower body a lot. Let's stretch that out. So first thing we're gonna do, a hamstring stretch, bring those arms up and exhaling down. Now it's super important. And anytime you do this stretch, in any stretch, you continually inhale and exhale. With every inhale, notice how I come up a little bit, and with the exhale, I want to go a little bit deeper into the stretch. As you get better with this stretch, you can continue to bring those legs closer and closer in, and if you can still touch the ground from there, bring them all the way in. If you can still touch the ground from there, keeping straight legs straight back, then you can start working and putting your hands on the ground and all that type of stuff. Okay, next thing, now we're stretching the hamstrings. Now we're gonna stretch the quadriceps. So if you need to balance on something, you need to grab something, go for it. Now just put your hand out and balance like this. You're gonna pull on your foot. Some people, when they engage, they'll pull on their foot like this. They'll pull across the back of their body. If your quads are super tight, that'll engage. Right now, I feel a little bit, but pulling with that foot, notice how my foot's straight back. That's gonna engage your quadricep a little bit more, okay? So from there, I'm pulling back, stretching. What you can also do with this is lean forward a little bit, trying to keep your balance. Lean forward a little bit, bring that knee even further back. That also helps stretch that hip flexor right here. Okay, let's switch over to that left side, putting my arm on something imaginary, just like my friends. Just kidding, maybe. All right, so quad stretch on this side. Again, I can lean into it a little bit, get that hip flexor right there, nice and good, okay? I'm gonna do another one exclusively for the hip flexor. So down, almost like you're gonna do a lunge. From here, have that front leg kicked out, back leg underneath you, and you're just gonna push into it. From here, that really puts a stretch, okay? A really good stretch right in the hip flexor, pushing into it. If you lift your arms here, because we were engaging that core a bit, and it'll exercise, and by exercise I mean stretch, it'll stretch that too. Okay, switching legs. From here, again, push your hips down into it, engage that hip flexor. From here, drive, pushing down, pulling back. Awesome. Okay, so what we did quads, we did hamstrings. Time for calves. What you can do is that box, that thing that you had, you need to put your hands on the ground. Okay, from here, we're just gonna be pushing off this, and you're just gonna be going one calf at a time, engaging, disengaging, switching calves. Okay, so from here, notice right does a few, left does a few. Keep on going back and forth with it. Don't be bouncy with these. You don't want to strain and injure, especially after, or especially before doing a workout or a game, okay? And notice with these stretches, we're holding static stretches. These are called static stretches. You're stretching deep into it, holding that stretch for a while. Great to do after a game. Okay, you want to really cool down those muscles, lengthen them, help them recover quicker. Not so good before a game. I'll have another video on exactly what you should be doing in order to stretch your body out to make sure that you're ready to go using what's known as dynamic stretching for a game. So make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification icon to make sure you don't miss out that video. So last thing we're gonna do is actually what's known as our booty, okay, our glutes. We're gonna be putting leg up, bend the leg in, ankle on the knee. You're just gonna be squatting down into it. Now with that elbow closest to the knee that's up, you wanna push, and with that other leg, you wanna pull this leg up. So I'm pushing down here, and this is a nice way. Notice, I didn't get on the ground for any of these. Now, some people will be like, oh, you should totally get on the ground. Totally fine. I was trying to show you examples of everything that you can do while you're standing, not getting muddy, maybe playing on a grass, wet field, all that kind of stuff. You don't wanna get muddy or wet, even though you probably should in a game. So you probably might as well just get wet before, so you're not worried about making one of those tackles in a puddle. Okay, same thing on that other side. Pulling up the foot, pushing down with the elbow, engaging that IT band on the outside of your leg, as well as that glute muscle. Okay, from here we'll do one final stretch. Stretch that quad a little bit, engage up and back down, up and down. One more time, up and down. To get more great advice to increase your strength, speed, and endurance, make sure to grab Soccer Fitness using the link in the description below. And click here for a video on a strength training workout to do with me where you don't even need any weights. So you can do it on the soccer field, or you can even do it in your house or outside your house at home.